Hello, Earthlings. I'm Ian.
And I'm Sven, and we are Heads in Jars, playing Nazi zombies and talking about your world.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dice Cast, where the game has already been played, the die has been cast. We're gonna reflect on the video game and probably talk about some more interesting topics as well, like Trump's transition team.
And other miscellaneous things.
Glad you picked up that.
Yeah, so I'm getting used to the format. This is
something new, obviously. This is a top-down view of the game. We're going to talk some shit about the game, you know. Just so you guys know, I'm on the right, Ian's on the left. Until one of us dies, and then if it's me...
Wait, no, I'm on the left, you're on the right.
That's what I said. I'm on the right, you're on the left.
Oh. Right. Yeah, that's my dyslexia. Shut up. This is so weird. Christ, get your head in the game. Alright, watching yourself play is a really surreal experience. I mean, it's not just watching yourself play, it's watching both of us play. So, you know, part of me is watching myself just run back and forth. The other part is me is watching you do nothing.
I'm just standing there. I was probably talking some smack during the game.
or
I was back in a bowl or something. Who knows? Because clearly I'm doing nothing there.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, look, I can move myself. And now I'm just, nope, I finally moved again.
Well, as entertaining it is to watch ourselves, there's nothing to actually talk shit about yet. It's way too early in the game.
No, yeah. This is good from like from an audience perspective too, because I never realized how boring round 1 is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh no, wait, we're on round 2. And now I'm unloading because I can't be bothered.
It's cropped, you can't tell.
Yeah. But the fact that it takes 2 knife shots to kill a zombie is the telling time. It's a sign for me.
Yep. We got to play these old maps on World at War next.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just see how much harder it is to play the OG versions.
Oh, it is much harder. I mean, like, the knives don't react in the same way. I mean, like, the knives will get stuck on the boards, for one. So you think that you've hit the zombie once, and then you realize you haven't, and it's hit you twice already, and you're down. I mean, the zombies themselves act differently and move in odd ways compared to Black Ops. I mean, the guns, though, that's like... every time we're playing this, I miss the OG guns. You know, MG42, the FG42, the Browning.
The Browning. I don't miss the reload times in the Browning, but it's such a dope gun.
No, yeah, no, definitely, yeah. The reload times on that.
Just the thought of, you know, man-portabling that giant machine gun.
Yes.
Arlie Ermy showed us it could be done.
Yeah, that's true. Dude got the Medal of Honor for holding a water-cooled Browning up by himself and firing it into the enemy to stop the charge.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but it's a dope story. Because I mean, if I remember correctly, like the asbestos gloves, either he didn't have asbestos gloves and he had to do it barehanded, or like the asbestos gloves weren't working properly and, you know, got massive burns on his hands. And if anyone who doesn't know what asbestos is, it's something you don't want to use on your bare skin.
Well, actually, to be fair, it won't hurt you on your bare skin. Asbestos is just especially dangerous when it gets inhaled. Those particles, it's a really, really
true.
Fibrous. Like if you look at asbestos in the wild, like it's a wild animal or something.
Yeah.
Observe the asbestos in the wild. It's like hairy. It's just a lot of really fine filaments. Gosh.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to breathe it in. That's why they stopped using it, because boatload of construction workers and shit during condemning buildings. Yeah.
Do you or a loved one have mesothelioma or been diagnosed in the past 10 years? You may be eligible for compensation.
Yes, we've all heard that.
Well, something that we've heard a lot about, too, recently is, of course, the election. freaking
Absolutely, it's been dominating the airwaves. Some
and
people are
not just
freaking out.
nationally. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's putting a lot of anxiety, stress on a lot of people, I think, because the idea of tariffs somehow being a solution to inflation and all of America's budgetary deficit woes is laughably wrong.
Yes.
And it's going to just make inflation worse. It's going to make things cost more. And wages
absolutely.
probably aren't going to go up in a commensurate amount either. I mean, I can't imagine when your Toyota costs 30% more than it used to, your wages are also going to be 30% higher suddenly. I just don't see that happening.
Well, no, not at first, but you just got to encourage all these manufacturing jobs to come back to the United States, and then once
all those
that
manufacturing
happens,
jobs that you allowed the companies to ship off already, Republicans and Democrats,
we'll quietly just leave that part under the table. We don't want to inform the populace too much.
yeah, because facts are woke.
Facts don't care about your feelings. And this one
Facts are
right now
not here to make you feel
is
good.
biting
Yep.
the Republicans in the ass. Just no one was refusing to say it loud enough. And any person who on the other side is, I mean, they're constantly talking about how Trump's tariffs the first round, helped our economy, and it put us in a stronger position to, leverage whatever we wanted to leverage over Taiwan, and get Mexico to do whatever we wanted Mexico to do.
Build walls and
yeah.
I don't know, bust up cartels, that's something that Mexico should probably do if possible. Bust up the cartels. Probably not going to happen because the cartels are as much the government as the government is the government in Mexico, I think, especially on a local level.
Yeah, like the murder rate for Mexican mayoral candidates and just mayors in general is astoundingly high.
Oh yeah, it takes some serious cojones to run for mayor, at all, unless you're already paid off by the cartels. But I guess it's a great litmus test. If your mayoral candidate gets killed by the cartel, they were a good one, and you voted for the right person.
That's true.
But that it really helps.
Conversely, though, it doesn't necessarily condemn any mayoral candidate or mayor who still survives, because they might not be on the take either.
No, this is an us or them thing. This is a zero-sum game. Either you are or you aren't. That's how the world works, Ian. This is the new reality.
Oh, yes, very good.
There can't be nuance. Either you're with Trump or you're not. Either you're an American or you're not with Trump.
That's actually, unfortunately, I kind of agree. Yeah, that's true. That is exactly how it is portraying it. But at least we, i.e. the Democrats, lost a fair election, and we acknowledged that we lost a fair election, and didn't have a hissy fit for 2.5 months, culminating in a small party at the Capitol.
Yeah, I wonder what a Democratic insurrection would look like. I mean, better organized for sure, because they're smarter.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, if there's an insurrection at the Capitol,
it's not smart, because that's just stupid. Like, you can't take the U.S. government is never going to fall just because the Capitol falls. Like,
the Capitol has fallen before in our nation's history, and obviously we didn't crumble.
It was fucking shot. The White House was shot at.
And it's all good because we have a backup capital that's way prettier than D.C. anywhere. It's called Denver. It's in the foothills. It's close to NORAD and Space Command, so way better location anyway. But and it's a lot harder to blow up because it's not it's landlocked. We got missile silos everywhere around us.
Very true. And Denver's got some really nice museums. Cultural hub too, and it's the home of the Denver Broncos, and we have the Avalanche here, and we have the Nuggets here,
and we have the Mammoth, and we have the Colorado Rapid. Let's not forget our not big four teams.
But are those two teams actually based though in Denver?
Oh yeah, the Mammoth and
okay, cool.
And
that's what I was
Rapid
going for.
Play at Dick's Sporting Good Park in Denver off of I-270.
Okay, all right, cool. Now, we got a lot of sports teams.
Yeah,
and
we've got a lot of minor
ludicrous.
teams too. I mean, we've got the Eagles, which is pretty dope.
Wait, did I mention the Rockies?
Loveland. Oh, I don't think you did, but that's okay, because the Rockies are so forgettable.
Well, yeah, it's only baseball, but still, I mean, I should mention them. Their stadium is nice.
Yeah, McGregor Square is really cool. The rooftop bar is dope. You know, watching the team is cheap.
Yes, it is indeed.
Sorry for baseball fans, but if you're a baseball fan, you understand that the Rockies are kind of a joke. I mean, they went to the World Series in 2007, and ever since then, it's been pretty much nothing. Unlike certain other teams. But we're going to leave sports for another day because the Broncos are kicking so much ass right now that it warrants its own 10 minutes.
Or more.
Or more, yes. 10 minutes is such an arbitrary low limit.
True. We might even just have to, dedicate a whole game to the Denver Broncos and their epicness. But, as you said, let's not, diverge too far from the topic and the awesome nature that Bo Nix is delivering, and get back to something a little more lighthearted, like the Electoral College.
And, yeah, how awful that system, the antiquated system is. I mean...
Whoa, okay, but in this fairness, it doesn't matter in this election. In 312 Electoral College votes for Trump, 266 for Harris, 76 million people voted for Trump, 74 million voted for Harris. So even if you want to go by the popular vote, Trump wins by a staggering 4 million people here,
so
guys.
So you're going to talk about the one aberration Republican presidents? I mean, George H.W. Bush didn't win the popular vote. George W. Bush didn't win the popular vote his second time around.
Oh, no,
first time around,
I'm not...
excuse me. Republicans generally don't win the popular vote. Trump's winning of the popular vote is an aberration, and the rule is generally a Democrat has to win the popular vote by 6.5% or something just to win the Electoral College, which is patently unfair. I mean, that's just, if you look at the way the numbers break down, it's ridiculous. Why does Wyoming's vote matter more than my vote? Now, Wyoming doesn't have as many electoral college votes, but their population is, 1/17 of Colorado's? And they have half the number of electoral votes that we have, I believe. What is it, 3 to 8? I guess, so just under half?
Yes, but the Electoral College is to divide the vote up more fairly and equitably between the cities and the farms.
Why do the farms get outweighed by over the cities? I mean, there are more people in the cities. Why do the lonely farmers get more of a say?
Because
in our modern world, why?
In our modern world,
it's antiquated. That's what I'm saying. It's outdated. It needs to go.
Well, I mean,
why do the rednecks have more of a say than I do? Are they better at politics than I am? Are they smarter than I am?
Well,
am I,
if you look at the federal dollar spent no. Jesus Christ.
Are we getting into it today?
Yeah, we really are. No, I don't disagree that, the Electoral College is slightly an antiquated system, but it is the system we have. But going back to the original point where I said it doesn't matter even about the Electoral College in this election, and yes, but in previous elections, Democrats, it's usually like a 6-point margin that they have to win in the Electoral College to even get, or 6-point lead in the popular vote to get to the Electoral College 270 that is needed. Yeah, I don't dispute any of that. But it doesn't diminish the fact that 4 million more people voted for Trump than they did for Harris. And,
in this instance, he won the election fair and square. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't have to like the outcome. The person least suited to the office won, in my opinion. But that is just like my opinion, man.
just like your opinion, man. Yeah, it is. I mean, I think you could actually make a pretty strong case about why. I mean, not opinion-based, but just fact-based on multiple issues. If you can take multiple parts of January 6th, and for those who say it was a peaceful, riot, that the cops opened up the door. I mean, no, I'm sorry, it was not peaceful. The cops technically, may have opened up the door on on the opposite side, but the first people in, used riot shields to smash the windows down and break in that way. Is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
you're right.
It wasn't peaceful. If you actually believe it's peaceful, you haven't seen the videos. You've probably only seen edited and doctored clips and nice peaceful stills. Maybe from a really far back wide shot of the green. Yeah, it looks real fine then, or maybe an early shot. But I don't think you can call it peaceful when there are people being literally shot.
No, they won't call it peaceful. They'll just say that it was Antifa disguised as Trump supporters.
So the anti-fascists showed up to incite a riot among the fascists, and it worked? Was that their story?
If you break it down like that, I'm sure they would find a different narrative to spin by. But you're basically, yeah.
Yeah, see, once again, facts don't matter to these people. Like, their conception of what a tariff is. And when I say I mean Trump and those who listen to Trump, who believe the things that Trump... Oh, no, they don't even always believe it, is the crazy thing. Like, they hand-wave so much of the stuff that he says away while he blithely goes about making statements about what his policy is going to be on day one. And then, if someone tells you what they're going to do, if someone tells you who they are, believe them until they prove otherwise. And Trump has shown us that he is exactly who he says he is. We know he's not smart enough to run the country because he wasn't smart enough to run a casino in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of tariffs, starting this trade war, what the flying fuck? It's not going to work. A tariff is essentially going to turn into a tax on the American consumer, not on the importing country. China isn't going to just be taking a 20% cut on all of their goods to make sure it still gets sold here. They know it's going to get sold here, and it's going to suck for everybody. And less of it will be sold, sure. But anything that erodes American hegemony is probably good in their eyes. So, the CCP doesn't mind taking a slight profit loss if it means the American economy goes to the shitter.
Oh, no, yeah, the CCP has got their own long game. And unlike us, they don't have to worry about regime change every 4 or 8 years, depending on which time of history you want to look in America. Because every president, they're sort of bound by the same ideas of, like, more or less, like, who's bad and who's good, and, like, what is a good general direction for the country. There are very few people actually talking about, let's just say, repealing the 13th Amendment. But, yeah, China's able to look at the long haul, and for, tariffs for them, which is, a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports, they might slightly suffer down the road, but they know that Trump will be gone in 4 years, unlike Xi Jinping, who will be gone when he dies.
But his policies might stick around and have much longer lasting impacts than those 4 years, unfortunately.
True.
Because, we have negotiated treaties with the 3 countries, essentially, that he wants to target. Canada and Mexico, for reasons.
And we have a free trade agreement with these people, too.
Yeah, so this tariff literally flies in the face of his own, to be clear, his own landmark free trade agreement that replaced the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement that was negotiated.
Didn't like that because Bill Clinton put that into place.
Yeah, exactly. So because of it, yeah, and whatever. Trump is literally imposing tariffs that go contrary to his own law. So once again, he's not a smart man. He doesn't remember. He probably doesn't know that he signed that law. If you asked him about it, he would lie or he would just, no, he wouldn't even have to lie. I genuinely think he wouldn't remember, because why would he remember the legislation that he signed? He remembers, having hot dogs and hamburgers at the White House, not legislating and governing, and did blessed little of it last time. Let's hope he does less this time. Along with the Congress too, but
yeah.
But no, he's not. He doesn't understand what tariffs are. If you ask him to explain it, he wouldn't be able to tell you either, because again, he's not a smart man. And he's not an informed man, and he doesn't care to be informed, which is also the hallmark of
Oh no,
Small
yeah,
Mind.
no. He said multiple times that that China pays the tariffs on the goods that we are importing, so we are raking in billions of dollars, and somehow through this imaginary money, it trickles down to the U.S. consumer miraculously. Like, you know, like apparently in Trump's mind, he's going to get so much money from all these tariffs that he's going to be giving everyone stimulus checks. He will usher in UBI, man, universal basic income. In 4 years, we're going to be spitting on our words and be like, dude, you know, Trump just saved us all. He made so much money off those tariffs. Everything is now peaceful. It's like Shangri-La. There'll be peace in the Middle East. There'll be peace in Ukraine. It'll be fantastic. And, you know, like and we'll look back at the dark days of Biden and just shudder to see how brainwashed we were.
I would eat all the crow in the world if that happened, you know, and if I were a betting man, I wouldn't take that bet though. I'm pretty sure it was good.
What would be Vegas's odds on that prediction?
Well, what were the Broncos' odds opening the season to go to the Super Bowl? Like 12,000 to 1 or something?
Oh yeah, it was something ludicrous.
So if that's a snowball's chance in hell, what would this be? Like 1 in 12 million? Like, how many alternate timelines do you have to go through where Trump's a good person?
Ooh. Well, I mean, I think we'll actually kind of fundamentally disagree on that question because I don't necessarily view him as a bad person. I view his policies and his flip-flopping as a politician as bad, but I don't view him as a bad person the way lots of other people do.
Okay, all right. I'm going to ask you then, please. Describe to me what makes him a good person. If he's not a bad person, he must be a good person, right? He must have good qualities.
No, it's not an either-or statement.
Okay, describe. Well, what is he then? He's not a bad person. He's not a good person. So he's a gray person. What
no, he's not a great person.
What makes him not a bad person?
Like
defend your position
here.
Bad
person. Defend my position here. This isn't about defending my position here.
I'm asking you to. I'm giving the opportunity to before I tell you why you're wrong.
Well, no. Okay, like as I said, there's some really shitty business practices. Obviously, there's a lot of, as you like to say, skullduggery with a lot of the political bullshit, you know, that went on. As an overall net positive or negative to the society, my guess is he's probably, to put this in a D&D case, chaotic evil. But
chaotic evil sounds like a good person.
Yeah, okay, look, I know I'm not selling him roses and shit like here.
And you haven't even touched on some of like the more rapey aspects of his personality that make him an awful
I forgot about that. Shit, there's so much to him. It's oh right, he was found liable of sexual assault in a civil court case. But I have problems with that too. I mean, like I didn't watch the trial. I don't even know if it was televised. I don't think so. But I mean, it is civil court, so it doesn't that doesn't mean that it didn't happen either. But it's civil court, so it's a little bit more of like the bitchy version of court than real court.
Just ask OJ.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I think Trump's a bad person. I think he's an awful person.
I
don't think he has redeeming qualities. I think he lacks empathy. I think he lacks compassion. I think he lacks humor. And as we know from the Minbari, no sufficiently intelligent species can be so if it doesn't have humor, and he doesn't have it.
But he's funny.
No, he's not. If he's funny, he's unintentionally funny.
It doesn't matter. He's still funny. I don't know, man.
He's funny in a way that would be satire if it wasn't real. I'm so far beyond thinking it's funny. I'm so far beyond that like I have become so disillusioned with this entire system. There's nothing for me to laugh at anymore. Like, I'm struggling just to have any kind of optimism for what's going to happen. Like, the best I can hope for is that he's so bad at governing and the Republicans are equally dysfunctional that nothing truly terrible gets passed and no rights and freedoms and liberties are actually irrevocably taken away and people aren't actually mass deported. You know, that's the best I can hope for, which is pretty damn depressing.
I mean, okay, like if you want to put it in those terms, yeah, my statement is a little. I mean, to some might be considered ludicrous. To others, they might be pissed off that I'm not defending Trump harder. I think though, like the fundamental problem with me calling him a bad guy is his story isn't over. You know, like it's easy to call Mao a bad guy, or it's easy to call Stalin a bad guy, or Hitler, or Tito. I mean, like I can go down, you know, the rabbit hole of bad people. But one of the reasons why it's really easy to classify them as bad is that their story is over, and we have a beginning, middle, and end, and we know the whole like side effects and everything that happened in the country to the you know the best of the ability. Let's say that it didn't destroy every single record, and a few of them survived, plus eyewitness testimony. You know, so you get a broad picture of like what these people were doing, and whilst up to this point, I can, and as you just did, point to many flaws in Trump's character and in civil court and his massive business failings. I'm reticent to say
failings.
Well, yeah,
know,
but
cheating on his wife with another woman that they brought into the country, and cheating on that woman with a prostitute, and while she's pregnant.
These are all.
No, sorry, not a prostitute. That's terrible. Sorry, Stormy Daniels.
Porn star.
With a porn star. That's a
porn star. Yes. Let's not throw shade on.
But here's one point I wanna make before we move on about that. You say you're reticent to call him a bad guy because his story hasn't been told. Because he's
not told.
It hasn't been finished. Right. The ending of the tale has not been writ.
Yeah.
So in 1944, you would have been reticent to call Hitler a bad guy because he wasn't dead yet. Because you didn't know all the circumstances of his
fate. Am I a Madison Square neo-Nazi? Because then I might not.
All right. Well, as long as you stick to that, I think that's a little ridiculous. I think there are plenty of ways.
But you also do also remember in 44.
There are people who are in prison right now that are there for life for drowning their babies because they felt like it. You know, they're not dead yet.
I will call them horrible people.
Right, but they're not dead yet. We don't know all the circumstances. Maybe they'll have a redemption story in the last 5 years and be turned to Tookie Williams and start writing children's books.
But there's a big difference between someone who has murdered their child and being reticent to call Donald Trump a bad guy. Because, I mean, like one of them has a defined, singular, horrible action.
And Trump has many.
Well, yes, but not to the egregiousness.
I don't know. I mean, where do you weigh these things here? Where do you weigh separating families at the border for months and months? Where do you weigh having children?
That is really bad.
Yeah, but when you talk about the scale of it, you know, when does it start to become worse than murdering two people? Where is their quality of life and their dignity? Where does that run up against the morality of killing? Like, where does that scale? If you have the 2 dead babies that the woman murdered and now is serving a life sentence for on one side of the scale, and you have all the families that he destroyed on the other, where does it balance out? Because I argue it's far, far systemically worse on Trump's side there. He's done more damage to people's lives than that woman ever could hope to do.
Well, you can justify splitting up families in a horrible way.
You can justify burning Jews in a horrible way, too. That doesn't mean it's right.
But, dude, I didn't say it was right. Why are you throwing...
Because you brought up Hitler as an example of somebody who we can say is bad because their story is over, they're dead. In the same part about talking about why you couldn't say that about Trump because his wasn't. So you invited the comparison. You opened that door.
Well, okay, yes, but if Trump hadn't won the election, and let's say he just gotten the first, you know, from 2016 to 2020, his term, and we knew that he was going to bow out, then I could make a lot more of a definite statement about what I think his like, you know, what he would like what his political like whole career and if it was good or bad and stuff like that, and more maybe I'd be more willing to draw a personal condemnation of his character than I am at this point. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not going to dispute that, but I just am more willing to give them the benefit of the doubt until they confirm my worst fears
I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. It's really too.
I'm also younger than you, man. Remember?
I can't trust them anymore. Like they have broken
well,
every bond of
okay,
trust.
But okay, no, I don't trust them either. Like when I say that, but all I'm doing like right here is just saying that like I don't want to call him a bad dude.
And you want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I am the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I am.
But I don't have any doubts. There's nothing to doubt. He has a proven track record. He has a track record of rhetoric. He has a track record of lying. You just look at the people that he surrounds him with. Those that he wants to put into position of power are either unqualified because he saw them on Fox News and decided they liked him because they said nice things about him.
Yeah.
They're unqualified in the fact that they're lawyers and not in any respect physicians or capable of running the Health and Human Services Department, RFK.
Yes.
There's nothing to doubt anymore. I mean, the only thing I doubt is that I don't doubt enough. I'm very cynical about this right now, and I wish I could be positive about it, but it's awfully difficult because I see a man who doesn't have any qualities of leadership, that doesn't deserve the office, in my opinion, that could never hope to live up to the office in which he's to which he's been elected. It's just a fucking sham.
You have many valid and fair points and criticisms, and I don't disagree with any of them really as a whole, but maybe it's because I've spent more time in the right-wing ecosphere than you have. That clouds my judgment slightly. Or maybe
you do have a better insight into it is the thing. That's why, I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah. That's why I'm like just not ready to condemn everything that might happen until it happens. Because I have no problem condemning all the things I don't like in the first term. Let's just start, like the Muslim ban. First, trying to start, 90-day executive order, that getting shut down, in the courts, and then trying
the courts coming through
to get the Muslim ban through. That's one thing. And another thing was his constant bitching about Section 230 and wanting to change it. I didn't trust that he would be able to change it for in any good way that wouldn't benefit him, and I also don't actually think that you can't really change Section 230 because I mean, it's just the way it's kind of just woven into the internet society now, and if you suddenly change social media platforms to publishers, the free speech implications are just a shit show, considering that public forums are now social media. I didn't, appreciate any of the bump stock ban, the pistol brace ban, the ramming through of federal judges, though all sides do that, but I wasn't particularly happy about the way McConnell, snuffed the Supreme Court pick from Obama in his last year and gave it to Trump. So, I mean, I can go on and on and on. I don't mind the moving of the embassy to Jerusalem. I know that was a political shitstorm, but I'm okay with it. But
I have no strong feelings one way or the other about that. It's historic and political.
Yeah, exactly. There are pros and cons to it, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. I mean, I do not appreciate him cutting out the Gaza or any of the Palestinians during Doha Accords.
That's like negotiating for their rights and their land without them being present.
Yeah, so that was really shitty, and I'm not going to say directly led to October 7th, because that's giving Trump way too much credit and the Israelis not enough credit for what they were fucking doing. But it didn't help the situation at all. So, there's a boatload of things in the first term that I can point to. They're trying to repeal the ACA. That fucking maddened me. And I watched the last round of voting live, and when McCain fucking voted no, and voted to keep the ACA in place, I literally shouted in glee. I mean, A, because my healthcare depended on it, and B, I was like, at least someone had some common sense not to repeal something that gave healthcare to millions of Americans and then just with no plan of what to do afterwards.
Yeah,
so all those
repeal
things
in place is something better. We're gonna have the cheapest healthcare. I mean, the United States spends 4 times more on healthcare than any other nation, and it doesn't really look like it. I mean, we're terrible at spending money efficiently somehow.
Well, that's just because the government, I mean, like, the bureaucracy in the healthcare system is absolutely retarded. You don't need all these individual companies with 1,000 different people constantly working for them as basically pencil pushers to make sure that whatever procedure a doctor prescribes for you needs to be verified by a third party so they can be like, oh, I don't know if I really want to shell out the money that you're spending for them to shell out the money on these ridiculous high prices of the, like I can go on about the
Sorry.
about the problems with the ACA and the wait, what?
Oh, I just saw me trying to go
tirade?
down the stairs and miss the stairs like 3 times in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
No.
sorry, non sequitur there, guys. We
Yeah.
are actually still watching a game somehow. It doesn't look like
I know.
it, though.
Yeah, we are watching it. Like we have had 0 game comment. We'll get back to Donald Trump in 5 seconds. We're just going to talk about the game for just for a few
So
seconds.
we're getting pretty freaking far into this game right now. I mean, I don't really know
to
what
250.
round
That was perfect timing too. 251 kills for you, 233 for me.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
we're pretty high up in there. I don't know what I
Yeah.
was doing there, jumping on top of him, or I was trying to get around him.
Yeah, it's stupid that the game, especially in those tight boxes, doesn't allow you to jump over the zombie. It's like, oh, come on, you could step over it and it wouldn't be able to hit you. The physics need a little bit of help. And apparently right now we're just like running around looking for the box, I'm going to assume, because we left her happy downstairs. Or at this point we were talking about something so riveting we just kind of forgot to continue playing. My guess is it's probably the box,
Which is
because
totally
I still have an STG.
Yeah,
and I know
I got
that-
a Galil there. It looks like, and a Galil and an STG. I think. I don't. Oh no, I have a ray gun and a Galil. That's right.
Yeah. You've got the ray gun. I mean, the STG is a brilliant gun, best of the wall guns, absolutely. You can use it very far, but it doesn't make a good weapon in the long term. And a Winter's Howl is kind of a cruel joke because, I mean, if you're playing 4-player and one of you has a Winter's Howl and you shoot it into a mob of zombies and
It can
and
work
you can just
really
turn
well.
around and mow them down. Yeah, that's great, but 2-player, it's pretty much just a useless gun.
I've definitely
even
died
for
trying to
third.
use it.
Yeah. It's not as bad as that stupid gun. It's not as bad as the retarded gun in Call of the Dead that turns the zombies back into people. The one that that I'm pretty sure once you pack a punch, you can shoot George Romero, and he turns back into a person.
The funny thing was, I mean, I've played that map a bunch of times, and I've never once seen that that gun.
I played that map more than you have, and I've never once seen that gun either. Yeah. So I was surprised.
All right, well, that was a nice levity break because it was I was getting very I'm not gonna say depressed. That's too clinical. Getting kind of down about the future, you know. And there's a lot to be excited about in the future too. The future is the future. The future is the pinnacle of technology.
Yes, we are living in a wonderful time, in the best time that you could ever possibly live in. It is. Magic is literally happening all around you. I mean, just look at your phone. That is basically some techno, made shit right there. It's great. It's great. But to really quickly though, to finish off the sentiment that I was writing. So I have no problem criticizing Trump's first term. I hesitate to say that his second term will be more or less disastrous. I mean, it has the potential to be way more disastrous than the first term because there's a lot of the guardrails that were there before, like Milley and a lot of people.
Bolton, weirdly.
Yeah, Bolton, exactly. The war hawk of the Bush administration, and I will be channeling my inner Bolton soon enough when I change to Ukraine. So get ready, everyone. But so you have all these people who aren't there now, and the people who are and like Bolton is straight up criticizing Tulsi Gabbard, and he called out another one with her on his Fox interview. Was it the Secretary of? No, it wasn't the Secretary of Defense.
Oh,
it
was the guy from Fox News, Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, pizza hexets. Yeah, the dude who sounds like an actual acronym from the military.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it has the potential to be a real shit show. I'm just hesitant to say it's going to be a shit show because you might be right. Like the Republicans might be really disorganized in how they get this shit going. I mean, I know I said a while back. I don't actually think it was on a stream though, but if the House, oh no, yeah, it was on our first stream. But if the House adopts the same rules that Kevin McCarthy and Mike Johnson, had to adopt, where one member can call basically a vote of no confidence. I guess that's the European way of saying it, but like,
right,
be like we want
vacate
to
the speakership.
Vacate the speakership. I mean, if that rule is still in play, well, damn, the Democrats, don't even need to filibuster the shit in the Senate. All they need to do is just pull that card day in and day out until the Republicans get so pissed off that they try to do a rule change. And even that won't work properly because half of the fucking caucus will be like, no, we need to keep this rule. Or they might raise it a little bit, but we need to keep this number nice and low because we need to, make sure that our insane agenda gets through. Because if that rule isn't part of the rules package, and it takes again like a majority vote, then the non-diehard Republicans in the House have a way easier time blocking the MAGA fruitcakes' strange agenda to stop people from peeing or whatever.
God. Yeah, these people aren't serious about governing when this is what they concern themselves with, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're not protecting anyone, Nancy Mace. Least of all, like, if you're so insecure in your womanhood, go see a therapist. Or just go see a therapist, actually. Just please do. Like, a qualified one, someone with a degree, not in homeopathy or aromatherapy or something, please. Oh, man.
Here, Miss Mace, do sit down on this couch while I administer the cow dung onto my aromastone.
And these are the people that, the sad part is, Tulsi Gabbard might actually believe that. She's all into weird conspiracy theories, that she has that kind of a brain.
No, yeah, she's got a huge Russian propaganda talking point when it comes to...
Yeah. Mitt Romney comes out and is like, she need to shut the fuck up. Except that he's Mormon, so he said, please, ma'am, you're parroting Russian propaganda, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah, like the shit that she pulled in Syria,
he basically leaked all that, what was it about Syria? She said that Russia, or there weren't actual chemical attacks.
By
Assad, right?
Yeah, like that it was that the U.S. was actually that ISIS was the one responsible for using chemical weapons and shooting rockets with military warplanes, because we all know that ISIS had such a strong and formidable Air Force. That's what they were primarily known for.
What? Yeah.
I can't believe I shot you.
Yeah.
It's the only good thing a fucking crossbow is for, is shooting your partner, because it won't harm them, and it's just funny.
You see me miss like 4 times with my sniper rifle there.
Yeah.
But I guess your point about the hope the Republicans can rein in the MAGA idiots, the maggots, as they were.
Well, no, not hope, but like the potential, depending on what happens with the rules package.
Yeah, well, but just in general, though, like when he does these crazy things, like, I'm going to mass deport everybody now, meh. There's got to be people there who are like, yeah, Mr. President, respectfully, it's really hard to do. Let's look into this a little bit, and stall and delay and, order some bureaucratic oversight committee to look at, I mean, the president can say whatever he wants, but ironically, he needs a bureaucracy to carry out those orders.
You're not right. You're not wrong. Well, actually, well, they'll still have the bureaucracy, but it'll just be called the U.S. military. Because once Vivek and Musk, come in and, wring all the extra bloat that they think is unnecessary, especially around the EPA and, the environmental rules concerning EVs and pollution that Musk wants to, suddenly skirt around because he's having an interesting problem there. So once these people are all wrung out and stuff like that, there'll be plenty of people left, the U.S. military, who potentially might be happy to do some mass deportation, or you might get a buttload of resignations from certain people, or it might just happen, and it'll make, 1940s America with the Nazis, with the Japanese, kind of look like a cakewalk, and we'll be like, oh, so this is more akin to the March of Tears, and condemning everyone to a reservation than something nice.
And what I really don't get is where are these deportees going to go? How are we going to get them? Where are they going to go? How are we going to get them there? How are we going to house and store them and feed them and clothe them and make sure they don't die and treat their illnesses and their injuries, because there will be illnesses and injuries. How do we do any of those things? I haven't heard anybody give me a good answer to that. Oh, look at that. I ray gunned myself to death.
I think I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Yeah, I die here. Yep.
Like, these things don't make any damn sense. I mean, explain it to me.
I can't explain it to you because the logistics of deporting just one person is absolutely ridiculous, and we can look at the recent UK ideas of deporting a buttload of illegal immigrants to Rwanda, and the handful of people that were actually deported, and it broke down to like 20 million pounds for one person to deport one person.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. 20 million pounds to deport them, and and that's gonna fix the budget. What the fly? 20 million times 40 million, or what kind of bullshit number is he gonna pull out of his head this time? I mean, he said he first it was 10 million, then it was 12 million, then up to 20 million. So let's just go for the worst case scenario. What is that? 20 million times 40 million. What are we talking about? Like $8 billion or something? 800 billion, $80 billion. I don't know. I don't have a calculator on me. I can't find my phone for some reason.
It's an absolute assload of money.
Donald Trump is not good at keeping the deficit down anyway. He added $8 trillion to the deficit last time.
But that all trickled down because of the tax cuts. I mean,
trickle down like piss. That's what we get off the trickle down. It's the yellow liquid running down Rockefeller's diaper.
But doesn't that picture, just endear your heart? Rockefeller, his 80th birthday, just giving a nickel to that young girl.
Oh my god!
Doesn't that show how generous he was?
Oh my god! This is the shit that makes me want to become a socialist.
Oh shit! Yeah. Right, I forgot that this is that we fucked up something, so we ended the game here. Oh, I needed to
take the dog out.
Gila was yipping at my leg to take a piss. Right. All right, so let's wrap this section up. So, any final thoughts about the election and the future of this country?
Oh, I have many. I mean, it's not possible to cover them all. But what I will say is, I might have sounded pretty doom and gloom there for a little while, and it's true. I struggle to find a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement for 2025. But that's ridiculous. Like I said earlier, it's good to remind ourselves of what we have, especially this close to Thanksgiving. It's such a cliche, but what are we grateful for, right? I mean, we have our health, we have roof over our heads, we have food in the fridge and the freezer.
We have a loving family.
Yep, we've got a great dog. We live in a nice community.
We have tens of viewers.
So really, it's not the end of the world. It won't be the end of the world. America will still be here in 2026 and beyond. Hopefully, it doesn't look radically worse. If it looks radically different, maybe different is good. Maybe change is good in some respects. Hopefully, it all basically works out so that people's freedoms, liberties, and lives aren't restricted or taken by actions of the new administration.
Well, now I have to be doom and gloom because that statement, yeah, that's gonna happen.
It is. I know.
I was being all optimistic 20 minutes ago and shit like that, but when you really condense it down, the liberties, lives thing and rights not being taken away, that's certain rights are going to be curtailed, and other, be it by the states, because we can't decide if a human life is a human life and what that means before birth.
Oh god, let's not get started that.
Potential the rest of them. Yes, yeah, let's not get started on that. All right, I think this is a successful first Dicecast episode.
Yes.
Covered a lot of topics.
Not
much commentary.
The die is cast in Latin for all of you people who are not learned like me.
Yes, absolutely. You might want to say that again because I was definitely talking over you.
Ille jacta est.
Yes, the die is cast. Where the die thunders to, we will see. But from everyone here at the Dicecast, we thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, do like, subscribe, and comment down below. We need the engagement.
Plus,
And
we like to
will
argue, and if you can give us talking points to argue about, or argue with you about, within reason, that could be fun too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so comment below, and we will see you on episode 2 of the Dicecast.
Whenever that is, and if not now, happy Thanksgiving, and be safe, eat turkey, cook it properly, don't fry a frozen turkey.
Oof, no, absolutely. Don't do that. You turn yourself into fucking Freddy.